Hey, it's Ebro back in the building. We back up in here for another reaction. We're going to be reacting to Shannon Sharpe leaving Undisputed amid things with him and Skip Bayless going south. You know what I'm saying? One could say that there are many moments on the show where, yeah, you knew it was over. It might be the one where I believe there's like at least maybe more than four instances where Skip was just taking subtle shots at Shannon Sharpe. But the most recent one, and the one that's been like memorable as a clip viral around the internet, is of course when Skip and Shannon were talking about Tom Brady. Skip just wanted to die on a hill that looked like defending Tom Brady no matter what. He's the greatest player to play the game, which I won't put that past and say he's not the greatest footballer of all time. But I mean, not one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I mean, there are other quarterbacks who are just as great. Some people think Joe Montana is a better quarterback overall than Tom Brady, no matter what. It's just kind of like that. It's just kind of like that argument of who's next, who's better, MJ or LeBron, or who's after MJ? Is it Kobe or is it LeBron? You know, the first one happens more than the second one. But it's just that type of debate that goes around, and it just ends up being like talking that goes in a circle and never gets to a landing space. But in this particular moment, whenever Shannon and Skip were going back and forth, Skip decided to take a shot at Shannon and say, obviously Shannon was basically saying that Tom Brady was not playing his best in that season when the season was still going with the NFL, and Skip took it upon himself to say, hey, you're just jealous that this man is still in his prime at the age he's at, and you had to retire at 35. And that remitted a response from Shannon that was a little bit more aggressive and in the vein of like, hey, why are you trying to play me like I didn't do anything in the NFL? Like I was just some second-rate bench player or whatever. And he even went on to say, bro, I was in the Hall of Fame. Like I'm not just some random football player or whatever. He's like, you would like go as far as to take a shot at me just to defend Tom Brady, which myself, I think that's crazy. And, I don't know. It also kind of like ties back to a thing of like, before Skip left ESPN, he kind of had this same little problem whenever they would bring somebody who used to play in, let's just say, the NFL, or somebody who used to play in the NBA, and they had like somebody who's played the game versus somebody who is just a does journalism. Like it's two different lanes. Like I'd rather listen to somebody who's played the game, somebody who's played basketball or played football or played tennis or played whatever at the highest level they could play, and then they didn't make it all the way, or something happened to where they couldn't do it anymore and they became a journalist, which I would like that better. I like those people who have been in the profession before. And like I said, he's had this problem when he was with ESPN, and the thing with Jalen Rose and the thing with Terrell Suggs, even the most legendary one where it was Richard Sherman saying that, oh yeah, I'm better than you in life, which I pretty much think that it was either that incident or the Jalen Rose incident that made Skip say, yeah, I'm leaving ESPN because they not letting me say what I want to say, but these other people attacking me and I can't say nothing back to them. So let's just see what Shannon Sharpe had to say. What happened?
A lot of times, Mad Dog, people look at things and like you can have like 15 great years and somebody have a bad moment and they're willing to throw all of that away. I wasn't willing to throw that the 2 months that Skip and we disagreed a lot. Sometimes I think things went over the line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Learning something.
And so I didn't want that. And so I appreciate everything Skip had done for me, bringing me there, giving me an opportunity to show that I was just more than a football player. I could talk about more in the sports world than just football. So I wasn't willing to throw that away. Skip and I just needed to get into a room and talk, and calmer heads prevailed.
All right. And is the relationship better now?
We're great. We're great. Look, Skip and I, we don't have the type of relationship that Skip and Stephen A had, because Skip and Stephen A came from the same world. They had been both writers, both journalists. They're trained. They see what they see through the journalist's eyes. I'm an athlete. I see things through an athlete's eyes. And so for me, we see things differently. That's why we work on the show. He sees things one way, I see things another way. But I think the thing is that Skip and I, that I conveyed to Skip, is that, look, we can disagree, but I want to color between the lines. I don't want.
So see, from what I can gather here, there's some sort of understandability. There's no bad blood between the two of them. I feel like this is like when, two family members are arguing at a family picnic or a family reunion or something like that. Yeah, they may argue and talk mess to each other, or like a son and a mother. They may sit up there and just say all types of bad stuff to each other, but at the end of the day, they gonna piece it up and just be like, hey, I know we was crazy back there, but hey, man, it's all love, So I mean, I can see that there's no visceral attacks about to happen. I believe Skip, respects the decision of Shannon Sharpe having to just step away and go do his own thing.
On the disagreement to go outside of the lines and where it becomes.
And you thought there for a little while it did?
Yeah, I did. I think everybody thought that.
I did not realize that. And Skip has a up and down reputation. Overall, though, he's done a great job for your career.
Yeah.
Stephen A. swears by him, too.
Yeah, man, he's done a great job on my career. I don't have a career really in the media. Yeah, I had my stint at CBS, and I want to thank Sean McManus and for giving me that opportunity. Tony Batiti, they believed in me. I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I came right off the field, and they gave me an opportunity to do that. So I appreciate what they did for me for the decade in which I was at CBS. But I was miscast. I needed this format. I need a format where I can talk about a lot of different things and give my opinion.
Not 20 seconds
and not 20 seconds. Show. Yeah. And so Skip gave me this opportunity, and the platform that I have, Club Shay Shay Podcast and Skip and Shannon Undisputed, and more people know me now.
So basically, and I never really picked up on it that it was Skip's show. I thought this was like a joint partnership type of thing, but I mean, hey, it's fine. When honestly, I really am gonna miss this show, because this is probably the only sports show where I could hear a true opinion from athletes' perspective from Shannon Sharpe. It seems as though, from what he said, he wants to go into all avenues and not just only talk about sports. And, that's the underlining thing when he's on Undisputed, where they have to actually just talk about sports and they can't really talk about other things. I mean, they've tried before, but it just doesn't, it doesn't look right having a platform that's on a sports network and y'all trying to, veer from what y'all are supposed to actually be talking about, which is sports, and going to go talk about something else. But I mean, I see where he's coming from there.
From Skip and Shannon Undisputed, than know me in 14 years that I played in the NFL. People ask me, like, how do you know so much about sports? How do you know so much about football? I was like, I study a lot. A lot of people don't realize that I actually played and I was a pretty good player, man, dog.
More than pretty good. I know. All right, let's get to the second thing. Let's get this out of the way. I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I know there was that incident there at the Staples Center with you on the court.
No, I didn't go on the court.
Okay, well, tell me about that. Go ahead.
Well,
what was that about?
Look, it was a situation where
when he almost got into it with Dylan Brooks.
It was a situation that the temperature in the arena needed to be turned.
That was weird.
Turned it up.
Ain't gonna lie.
I'm the adult in that situation. Not to say they're not adults, but I'm 54-year-old. I got kids older than them. So instead of escalating a situation, I should have de-escalated the situation. I should have just, man, y'all crazy, man. But the Lakers still gonna win this game. Laughed it off. But I escalated the situation, and I shouldn't have. And so for me, guys hear me all the time. I preach responsibility and accountability. I took responsibility for what I had done.
That was a player against the Lakers, right? Who was it?
No, it was Dylan Brooks and I, and Ja and I, and then Ja's dad came in like a good father should and defended his son. And so my thing was that once I realized what I had done, I didn't think the proper thing for me was to go on the social media and apologize. Let me go on my platform. Let me look into a camera. It was not written in prompter. That was straight from my heart.
You did that the next day?
I did that that was a Friday night. I did it on Monday morning.
Monday morning. Was there any repercussions with Fox or FS?
I called them Saturday. Called my bosses and told them I know.
I definitely think that I'm just gonna wrap it up here. I definitely think that whatever Shannon Sharpe has next, this is gonna definitely propel him. And I feel like at the same time, leaving from FS1, I feel like they kind of held him back a little bit because he wasn't allowed to say what he wanted. He wasn't allowed to say what he wanted all the time. I mean, they let him kind of say what he wanted, but like he didn't get that like real creative control like he's supposed to. Like if he go like. I'm sure, like on his Club Shay Shay show, I'm sure he can say whatever he wants to say, versus being on Undisputed and having having somebody over your shoulder and telling you that, hey, you can kind of go past the 50-yard line, but please don't go, please don't go to the end zone for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. But yeah, man, I'm very anxious to see what Shannon Sharpe is going to be doing other than Club Shay Shay, because I already know about that platform. Anxious to see what he's going to do. Maybe he goes to ESPN. Maybe, I hear rumblings of that being a case. Maybe he goes to ESPN. And also, who's going to be replacing Shannon Sharpe and taking the other seat next to Skip. I wonder who that's going to be. Maybe Michael Irvin. Well, no. Well, maybe Michael Irvin. Maybe maybe they get another former athlete. Maybe a basketball player this time. Who knows? Maybe a boxer. Who knows sports? But we'll see. Only time can tell, man. Little Baby speaks at the funeral for a 16-year-old Breasia Powell who was unalived at a graduation party. It's very sad, very unfortunate. It says the 16-year-old Atlanta teen's life was cut short when she was unalived while celebrating at a graduation party in the Mays High School parking lot last week. So very, very, this is very sad. So we're just gonna look and see what Little Baby said. You don't often see rappers even going to funerals for deceased some of their fans who are victims of gun violence. let's take a look at this.
And I'm saying as a we, because I'm with y'all, like, we gotta change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times when people talk, it's more so like on the younger males, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like speaking for like the males and the females, because like the females make the young males think this and that cool when it's not. So the young boys doing this and that to prove it to the girls that they cool, when all of it in the end is it's not cool. The same girls, they ain't gonna be with you, they gonna be with the op when you go to jail.
Man, he's speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth. Hey, he's speaking the truth, man.
I ain't gonna need to hold y'all up for too much longer, but and I'm only here to not speak, but like she's saying, we gotta come up with a plan, and I'm here to help the plan. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say. Got me today.
So, that, you know, that's really solid of Lil Baby to go to that church and just speak what's on his heart. You know, some of the people in that church might think, hey, and I'm sure it's probably the older folks, you know, that are like, hey, he's part of the problem. He's the reason why this and that is happening in the streets. You know, they are attracted to a certain soundtrack, and he's part of that soundtrack. But you know, if we could get more rappers to like do, you know, not even go to, you know, they don't have to do this same exact thing, but like bring awareness, gun violence, and, you know, taking away of younger children before they can like blossom into whatever it is their purpose is supposed to be. You know, because some fool decides he just wants to, you know, clear the club, or clear the house where the party is going on. You know, it's very unfortunate. It's very sad that this even has happened. You know, this young will not know what it's like to go to college and go and get her life together and seek the purpose that God has for her because of some senseless gun violence. I got a lot of respect for Lil Baby for just going up there and saying that we need more rappers to be doing this right here. And this next thing right here, man, I just randomly found this while I was on Instagram. Usually, the page that this is on, the Instagram page that this is on is a page called Millionaire Mentor. It's almost kind of like a motivational sort of Instagram page. So I found it interesting when I was reading this thing, and I thought I'd talk about it. So, if you will, follow along as I read, okay? So it says, a lawyer who quit to become an OnlyFans performer. Let me go back and say that again. A lawyer. She was a lawyer. The woman in the picture, she was a lawyer. A quite amazing profession, if you will. A decent to great profession to call your own. She quit being a lawyer to become an OnlyFans performer. Says she now makes more money and is happier. Oh, really? Don't worry. Let's keep on reading, guys. All right, so it says here, less than 6 months after getting her first job as an attorney, Jasmine Jafar, so I would assume that she's so Jasmine Jafar, so she's South Asian, of course, quit to become a full-time OnlyFans creator. Let's keep going. All right. So the 27-year-old, man, she's only 27 years old. I venture to wonder at 27 years old, like, how long are you going to be doing OnlyFans? Like, how long are you going to be doing it until you realize, like, it does, like, OnlyFans, like, dude, like, you selling your body online, it doesn't, there's no longevity in something like that. Like, sure, it makes you enough money now, but 2 years down the line, what about 5 years down the line? Are you still going to be doing OnlyFans in 5 years? Come on now, let's be realistic here. You left a honest, I'm pretty sure stressful, but still good profession to come and do what? Be selling your body? Like, I don't know. I don't get that, man. The 27-year-old made more than $180,000 through OnlyFans in the first 3 months of this year. That's cool. Like I said, that's cool, but like, what about after 9 months? You know? What about after 2 years of it? You going like yeah, $180,000 sounds cool, sounds great, but like, all money ain't good money, bro. Like, all money ain't good money. And I think in this regard, this is one of those instances where the money can't be that. The money can't be that good to want to just leave being a lawyer. Like, it's like if like I would be more hot about this if she said that she was a doctor and she left being a doctor and said, hey, she left being a doctor and decided to go do OnlyFans. I'd probably have more energy and be more angry about this. Let's keep on going. Jafar worked 10 hours a day at the law firm, and despite now putting in longer hours, she says she's happier. So see, here's already a downside, and I'm sure there's more downsides to this that whoever wrote this didn't put down in here. Like I said, she's selling her body. Even if it's a thing where she's not all the way like showing her whole body or anything like that, that's still your body. Like, your body is like, there's a sacredness to like your own body. You know your own body, and you sharing it to the public, and like, from the way she looks, she don't seem like the type of woman that's, you know, just out here promiscuously giving her body away to men. But like, it's like, how can one like think that she's like an honest woman? Like I would even, let's throw another thing in there. What if you had a like boyfriend or a husband or something like that? Like, are you talking to your boyfriend and husband, and is he fine with you deciding to leave being a lawyer and becoming an OnlyFans model? Let's even take it further. She's South Asian. And I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to Asians, South Asians, and Africans, parents don't play. I'm gonna even throw Jamaican parents in there. Them parents don't play. So does your mother and your father approve of you doing this? You know, we can also put into a case of like, was her mother and father, did her mother and father use their money, their hard-earned money, to put her through law school? I wonder. That's another thing I put up there as potential problems. And you know, the way this is written, they put like the 10 hours a day in yellow, like that's supposed to just be like she's the only one, like she's the only one doing 10 hours a day. It's people out there, like, bro, there's dudes pushing cars. There's females and males pushing carts at grocery stores for 10 hours a day. So like what, like, I don't even get that. Oh, 10 hours a day. Okay. And come on now. What about doctors who just get through having to worry about doing surgery on somebody who they don't know is gonna live or die by the way that they're doing the surgery? You talking about 10 hours a day. What about the nurse who's on call? What about a nurse that's on call doing 12-hour shifts back to back? You talking about 10 hours? 10 hours? Really? 10 hours ain't nothing. There are regular people out there doing 10 hours. 10 hours a day. Like, come on, man. Get up out of here with this 10 hours. They put it in yellow like it's so tough. Like, stop. Anyways, man, Jafar worked 10 hours a day at the law firm. And despite now putting in longer hours, she says she's happier. I don't understand how you can be happier, and putting in more than 10 hours. You putting in 12 and 14 hours. 12 and 14 hours to sell your body it's crazy. It's crazy what's acceptable nowadays, bro. Like seriously. It's very I don't understand. I don't even understand the point of this Instagram page putting this up here. And then the caption says people are afraid to take action and create a better future for themselves because they're too worried about what others will think of them. Now that's true, but in this regard, I can't see a hindsight in this because you left being a lawyer to be an OnlyFans model. I've heard stories of teachers leaving teaching and becoming OnlyFans models, and that's just as crazy. That's just as crazy. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine for a second a teacher, your teacher, who teaches 7th grade or 8th grade, and you just like scrolling on Twitter or scrolling on Instagram, and you see her Instagram page, and she's like in a lingerie or she's showing as much as she can in the Instagram post, or on Twitter she's like fully bare. Like, can you imagine that? I can't. I don't see. Like I said, like I feel like for 8 months, I feel like she'll probably change her mind from doing this because like you're doing more hours. You're making the money, but you know, I want to go back to what I said about the parents thing. Like, you know, I'm sure her parents are probably trying to talk her out of doing this, and like, you know, like, come on now, like, honey, be serious with yourself is probably what they telling her. Like, come on now, this isn't a real job, you know. This is just but a moment. This is a moment. This is a moment that will be done in the blink of an eye. And then after, like, who's to say, like, let's just throw out another scenario. What if they decide, hey, we're going to shut down OnlyFans? Some big company, let's just say, I don't know, let's just say Yahoo decides to buy OnlyFans, and Yahoo decides when they buy OnlyFans that, hey, they don't want OnlyFans promoting, you know, that XXX content on their platform. Because that has happened before with other platforms like Tumblr, for instance. I believe Yahoo bought Tumblr, and they basically made Tumblr say, hey, y'all can't have all that explicit content on that platform. So you got to get it out of there. Like, who's to say that doesn't happen with OnlyFans? Because, I mean, there are people on OnlyFans that don't do anything that has to do with nudity or anything like that, and just doing regular things like content creation that has to do with comedy or rap or anything like that. You know, OnlyFans is not strictly for just corn and whatnot. It's also for regular content creators. So who's to say OnlyFans doesn't get bought out by another company, and the company that buys them out says, hey, y'all got to get rid of all of that explicit content that y'all got on there, or we are going to just drop y'all like a bad habit. So, I mean, that's what I think about it, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is quite an interesting story. I do just want to let everybody know that the entertainment industry is a wild place. I'm not no classically trained person that's been in the entertainment industry, but there's so many stories, and this story right here has got to be one of the craziest stories that I've seen in a little bit of time. But you know, it's crazy to believe it, but at the same time, it's like, given the things that have transpired in the entertainment industry, it's not too uncommon to hear this type of like demonic thing going on there. So, as the story goes, Damson Idris says he had nightmares for months after calling on the devil to help him do a scene for Snowfall. Now, I mean, dang, bro. You are a great actor. I don't know why you would need to be messing around and calling on the devil. It's crazy. Let's look at the clip.
I refuse to sort of indulge that these boundaries get blurred.
I remember sometime we do 10 episodes for my show, and in this last season, I was hitting a block, right? I was like, oh, I'm not doing it right? So I went in the corner, and then I was looking at the wall, and I was like, come on, devil, right?
Bro.
Come to me, because I had to do something.
Come on, devil. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Come on, devil, bro. Like, you tripping.
Nightmares for a month. Like, I had nightmares every day. Like, I felt that energy.
Oh, interesting.
You know, and I had to pray and do all this stuff to like get rid of it. And, you know, you call your mom up and you're like, bring me back to life. And that stuff is real. That stuff really
yeah.
is. When I look at myself on the screen, I don't want to see myself.
How can you ignore that?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's borderline ridiculous. Really? I'm scared to even say what he just said again. That is totally like, you're already a great actor. Like, what do you need to do that for, bro? Like, it should be come on Jesus, bro. You tripping. Come on Jesus. Jesus is the greatest. You out your noggin, man. You letting them directors put you in a chokehold, bro. Nah, man. Ain't you friends with isn't he friends with old girl from Black Panther? Boy, you need to seek counsel, my boy. Seek counsel, man. He's talking about he's been praying and calling his mom to pray for him because he's having nightmares. Like, you go messing with them spirits, man. They will meet you at the door, bro. Like, them evil spirits, bro. Can't be out here calling on Lucifer, bro. Like, what you doing? Come on, man. I'm sure you come from a Christian background. You know, being that you're Nigerian, so it's either you're Muslim or Christian. So like, that's not even something to be playing with, honestly. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. That's scary. Back in here for another, I guess, vlog, maybe. This might be a podcast. I don't know. But, hey, we back up in here for another one of these things, man. And, man, the talk of the town right now is Zion Williamson. Basically, what had happened was Zion got a, I guess you can say, former thought or former stripper or whatever she was before she met Zion pregnant, right? Seems about normal for an NBA player to be in that type of situation, right? But here's the kicker. So while he was messing with this woman, he was also messing with a corn star by the name of Mariah Mills. It's a lot to unpack here, and we just gonna get right into it. There's a lot of things that she said. First, let's just look through all of these because her Twitter is filled with just she going in on Zion Williams. Okay, first it says here, I guess I'm gonna be a stepmommy. You not. Let me see what she said here. You not finna F up me and Zion Williamson's plans, baby or not. It is what it is. Off this peace sign. Says I deleted the video of the photographer pouring honey in my mouth because you told me you felt disrespected, and I come and to Twitter to see you trending with a thought being pregnant, and you kissed that B. Zion Williamson, why you hurt me like this? Why did you do this to your butterfly? It's crazy. It's crazy. Says I'm in Atlanta. See me in December, or should I say, see me at my new condo in New Orleans. Rose, we sister wives now. Get with it or get lost, but I'ma always get more. He don't play about me when it comes to spoiling. I'm his princess. You a burnt out baby mom. That is crazy. And listen, there's a lot of them. I didn't want to like get all of them because a lot of them are like really, like she really went there. It says, I told you was going to be the next king to LeBron. I motivated you. BM is the reason you gained weight. She toxic. I hate this for you. That honestly, Zion, you hurt me with this one. I couldn't sleep last night. I let you. Okay, this is the one that got me. No, this ain't even yet. No, this is the one that got me. She said, I let you F me so many times without a condom. And this is what you do to me. A hood rat that does CP. Nah, man, nah. Listen, I don't care if she's a chorus star. She got jokes. She got bad jokes. She said, a hood rat that does CPN. Nah, a hood rat that does CPN is crazy. Like, dog. Yo, I usually don't indulge myself in like things like this because it's like everybody's covering it. But this one I just had to because, yo, Mariah Mills was going in. Mariah Mills was on Twitter going in, and I was looking at every single tweet. It says, congratulations, Zion. Happy for you. And then it says, F you. And then it says, you putting my life in danger, effing all these. So here's what I think. I don't know what Zion promised Mariah Mills, but it's kind of like, what did you expect? First of all, he's a basketball player. You expect somebody who's a basketball player who plays 82 games in a season. 82 games in a season. That's about like from maybe October all the way until, if they make it past the playoffs, till June. It's about like maybe roughly 8 to 10 months or something like that. You expect somebody who plays 82 games in a season, and probably about like, what is that, like 12 to 15 if they make it through the playoffs, to be like loyal to you. I don't know what Zion promised Mariah Mills, but honey, come on now. You're a corn star. He's an NBA player. That was never good. That was never going to work out. That was never gonna be what it was, bro. Like, come on now. I don't think that was ever gonna happen, but at the same time, Zion is wrong for not keeping this clean. Zion is wrong for not keeping things, intact and just basically saying what it was. It really sounds like he promised this lady a lot, Yeah, I don't know. He's a basketball player. Athletes do this all the time. Football players, race car drivers, tennis players, they all do the same exact thing, I'm sure even the ones who are married do it even, are way more discreet than somebody who is just like has a girlfriend or something like that. But I mean, yeah, you just should have gotten your house in order, bro. I mean, that's not me like coming down on him or anything like that or anybody in this situation. But at the same time, it's just like, in order for something like this not to be news on Twitter or something like that, at first I thought this was one of those things because there was something just like this some years ago where it was Carmelo Anthony, and this was like a long time back. But Carmelo Anthony was being accused of something by a corn star by the name of Jasmine Cashmere. There was that one, and then there was another one. It was another corn star that was basically outing a R&B singer. I won't say the name of the R&B singer, but yeah, that's what it was. So every now and then something like this will come out, and sometimes it's very interesting to see, and then sometimes it's very nasty to see, honestly, because it's things like this break up families, things like this break up homes. But hey, man, it just goes to show that niggas gonna be niggas, bro. Niggas gonna do what they want to do. It don't matter how much money you got. I think Jay-Z stepping out on Beyonce is proof of that. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can have the prettiest, most beautiful woman in the world, and a nigga just still gonna find a way to just do what they want to do. And likewise with females. A female could have all she wants from a man and still not be satisfied. It's just the way, for some strange ass reason, that's just the way the world works. Or maybe it's just a westernized way of thinking. I don't know. A westernized lifestyle or whatever, but it's not good. It's not good. It's not good for people to still be, I'm gonna be honest, still be living a certain way, and they say they want a husband or they want a wife, and you still doing things the way you were when you first started like hustling, you first started getting money. Make it make sense, I mean, at the end of the day, shout out to Zion. Hopefully he recovers from this. Shout out to Mariah Mills. Hopefully she can find another ball player or something like that. Or I don't know, she gets back with Zion. I don't know, man. But hey, this is just the way the cookie crumbles for now. That's the way of the game, man. Zion had to pay to play, and maybe, just maybe, the ticket price was just too much for him, and he said, F that. I'm going back to something that I can handle a little bit more. So they finally give Tupac Amaru Shakur a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why did it take so long for Tupac to get a star on the Walk of Fame? Why was he not worthy of a star on the Walk of Fame? Matter of fact, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go ahead and look up every single person that is on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I think Donald Trump has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Isn't that crazy? Donald Trump has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and Tupac doesn't. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I don't know why it would make, to me, I don't know why it would make sense that Tupac needed to have a star on the Walk of Fame. Hear me out here. He's a rapper. There's not many rappers. I don't think there's any rappers that are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I thought the Hollywood Walk of Fame was more for movie stars, but apparently anybody. I believe Snoop Dogg has one, right? Snoop Dogg has one. Ludacris just recently got one as well. So I mean, but it's just one of those things that doesn't end up making sense because it's supposed to be for like Well, Tupac was an actor, so that's true. Walk of Fame. Let me see here. All right. Wow. It's a gigantic list of people, bro. Wow, this is a lot of people. Damn it. There's so many. So many people. Golly, man. There's so many people. Goodness. Wow, this is a lot. No, this is a lot. This is a lot, bro. This is a lot of people. But like I said, a majority of these people are like movie stars. But they still have like they have musicians on here, but they don't actually have like rappers on here. So they don't have like actual like rappers on here. Like I said, they just recently put, I believe Dr. Dre's on here too. Let me see. Dr. Dre has I think he does. Let me see here. Dr. Dre. If not, I spoke too soon. Let me see. Okay, I spoke too soon. Dr. Dre does not have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So I know it's Snoop Dogg. I know it's Ludacris. Who else? I believe recently Martin Lawrence just got one too. So for the most part, it's mostly like movie stars, comedians. You do have your musicians. You have like rock band. You have a few rock bands. You have some alternative bands. You rarely have your rappers. But I mean, like I said, it makes sense for like impact purposes. Tupac deserves a walk, like a star on the Walk of Fame, just off of impact, bro. This man passed away so many years ago, and people are still to this day talking about the impact he had on rap music, and not even just rap music, but a whole entire culture was built around this man's music. And whenever his name comes up, people say that, hey, that's my favorite rapper. He's in people's top fives, dead or alive. His work ethic is a thing that a lot of rappers mimic, in which he would sit in the studio and make thousands and thousands of records, because he thought he was, he was thinking of his demise coming soon. So, just in general, this is a great thing. Honestly, I feel like if he was gonna get a star on the Walk of Fame, he should have got it he should have got it back in like 2003. He should have got this back. He should have got this back in '99. They should have gave him one like way back. But I guess like the whole entire East Coast West Coast thing was probably still too hot for them to accept to put any rapper to give any rapper a star on the Walk of Fame because of that alone. Because maybe it's a white organizational thing, so they're probably like, hell no, we don't want no rappers in our. Hell no, we don't want any rappers to have a star on the Walk of Fame. And it's like so many years later, and they finally do it. is Tupac even in the to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And everything that's happening right now, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, star, a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. These are all impact things. So salute to whoever got this done. I believe it's this lady in this video right here that got his star to be put down in the Walk of Fame. So it's pretty dope. Going to be taking a look at, shout out to My Southern Brand on IG. The brother always has some type of alcohol, some type of food place he's recommending in Houston, or a drink type place that he's recommending, or a dessert place, or, you know, he's just one of those, I believe, one would call that a food critic, I believe, but I don't know. I think he's just more of a like Houstonian culture based person that just knows where everything is. So shout out to him. His Instagram is My Southern Brand on IG. Make sure you go look it up. He does this series I like to, I'll just be scrolling through and he'll do it. It's called Forgotten Black Towns of Houston. This one caught my eye, so we're just going to be looking at it, and yeah, I'm going to be putting in my input, because this one was actually kind of shocking when but it wasn't really shocking, but I mean, I never knew about it, so let's do it.
In this episode of Forgotten Black Towns of Houston, we're going to uncover the brutal black history of Sugarland. During Chattel.
Now, see, I did not know Sugarland. Yo, that's so deep. That's crazy. I did not know Sugarland had a tragic, like, past like that. It's completely crazy. I didn't know that. Let's keep going.
Slavery, Sugarland was known as the hellhole on the Brazos.
Hellhole on the
Slaves
Brazos.
endured the brutal conditions of working on the sugar plantations. Many of them even died. After slaves were freed, black holes were used to restrict their freedom. Many black people were imprisoned for the smallest crimes. For their punishment, the prisoners worked in the sugar refineries and sugar cane.
And that's that sugar refinery I always drive past. Wow. That looks just exactly like the building I drive past, bro. Oh my goodness. They was using that to force black people to work? Bro, that is exactly the same damn building. And then the water tower right there. Wow, bro. Oh my goodness.
Fields via convict leasing. The convict leasing program was a way for Texas to get around the prohibition of slavery.
Basically still making black people slaves.
People were forced to work off their sentences. Many died and many were cut off their limbs to escape the brutality of work. The victims lived in an area called the Quarters that will become Mayfield Park. Their descendants went to a black school called M.R. Wood. In the
I'm not gonna lie, I have never heard of, what's the name of it? Mayfield Park? I gotta look it up. I probably drove through there maybe once or twice. I don't even know. Mayfield Park. I've been in Houston all my life and I ain't never heard of Mayfield Park. Mayfield Park. Mayfield Park. I bet you anything. Oh yeah. Mayfield Park don't look nothing like Sugarland. Wow. This look like, yeah. Mayfield Park looks the least like this is in Sugarland. This is the only place, look. This is the only, I don't know if y'all can see that. This is the only area of Sugarland that don't look like white people live there. I'm gonna just be honest. That's crazy. This is Mayfield Park. Mayfield Park looks nothing. Mayfield Park looks nothing like the rest of Sugarland. It just looks old and run down. No disrespect to anybody who lives there. That area just looks like very like old and ran down.
1950s, public housing was built in the quarters. Unfortunately, in 2018, during the construction of his school, 95 victims' bodies were discovered. They were also
all the way back from slavery, bro. 95 victims' bodies were found in the quarters in 1990. In the 90s, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
found still in bondage.
Goodness.
Today, the quarters isn't as pretty as the majority of Sugar Land.
As I said.
In fact, it is surrounded by fast suburban growth.
Exactly, because all of Sugar Land looks like
so
rich.
let's remember the quarters.
Goodness.
On this
See, I never. That makes me want to like see what else he like has about like areas like maybe Richmond or Rosenberg, or maybe like just areas that I've lived or driven through or worked in areas I've worked around. I'd really like to know the history of these parts of like the area. I would even like to know about places like League City and Webster and like what was going on back then with those parts of the area. It's crazy, bro. That's so interesting to me. I gotta make it I feel like I gotta make it a series just to be watching his takes on forgotten black towns in Houston, because I don't know enough about any of Houston. I've been living here like just about all my life. For real. I said, you know what? Why don't we just do another one? Because that one, I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed learning about how Sugar Land came to be, how Sugar Land came to be. Now we're about to do another one. Definitely about to do another one. My Southern Brand. This is another one of his videos. It says, on this series, I want to bring awareness to the black towns and neighborhoods in the Houston area whose history has been erased and or ignored. And then in the so he's basically going to be talking about Kendleton. We'll be talking about Kendleton, and yeah, let's just get this going.
On this episode of Forgotten Black Towns of Houston, we're going to focus on Fort Bend County. Located within close proximity to Rosenberg, Kendleton
really
was
small.
Originally located on the San Bernard River.
Okay.
However, after the slaves were freed, plantation owner William Kendall sold his land to free slaves.
Really?
They established Kendleton along with Benjamin Williams, a minister and a Republican politician.
So Kendleton has always been black. Wow. Kendleton has always been black. The slave owners sold the land to the freed slaves. That is very interesting. Wow.
Its establishment, Kendleton became an important railroad town whose economy consisted primarily of farming. Many of its residents owned watermelon patches and raised chicken. Further down the line, Kendleton grew to have several general stores, a few schools, and some churches.
Okay.
And just like many freedom colonies in Texas, the town hosts many Juneteenth celebrations. Also, on every fifth Sunday, local churches come together to have a fifth Sunday program. The residents rotate churches, and their pastors take turns preaching. Today, Kendleton has a black mayor, Darrell Humphrey. 80% of its residents are black, and it's also building a new city hall.
Okay.
Kendleton is also working on repairing all of its roads that need desperate repairs.
Because the country do not got good roads. The country does not have good roads. Okay, that's great. Now I don't know why I thought. I really thought there would be like something. I don't know why I expected something tragic to be happening with a like black town like this. You know, because when it comes, you know, because of all the stories of what is it called, Tuzla, and all the things that have happened with Tuzla and all the other areas where there was just a whole entire black town and they had businesses and banks and things like that. So this is one of the few where This is one of the few black towns where you don't hear something tragic going on. It's actually been for the positive. Like, for the most part, freed slaves were sold land and they made do with what they were sold. So this is incredible. It's incredible.
In anticipation for its growth. So let's remember to keep Kendleton alive. On this episode,
That's dope. That's a positive from the Sugarland one I just watched. This is an actual positive. I actually like this one. It was good. Very positive on Kendleton. You know, Kendleton is a small little area, but hey, you know, small towns have a lot of like ambitious people in it. Some make it, some don't. Yeah, shout out to anybody who is from Kendleton. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the building. Another breakdown. I'm going to be looking at the DC Young Fly video of him speaking at his wife's funeral. Yeah, we're just going to get right into it. Without further ado, let's do this.
I like that Genesis teach you first about Joseph before they break it off into any other story, because if you're paying attention, Joseph is getting hit constantly with obstacle and obstacle and obstacle. And if you really read deeper and you understand, Joseph ain't never said, "Why me, God?"
Wow.
And if you're a firm believer, then you know
at some point during you might like think to yourself like, why, like the video clip of him like speaking at his wife's funeral, so unbelievable. Whatever the Holy Spirit was to put on that man's heart, God was gonna get it, like was gonna get that message delivered, and he did just that, man. Like very very, 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 very DC Young Fly is like his composure is very just not crying, man. Like not complaining, not crying. Like that man is really in tune with like his faith from what I've seen like thus far.
if God got, his hands on you, then you know we're going to be straight. And that's one thing I know, that we gonna be straight, Do we understand? No. But I don't lead by the, and sometimes life hits you with a curveball, but that's anybody out here that's going through something.
That's a fact.
So
that's a fact. You ain't lying.
So
you ain't lying.
You got to stick it through, man.
Call me crazy, but I feel like he has the makings of a preacher. Because I've seen clips online of this already. I haven't watched this whole entire thing right here, but it's just the delivery, everything, the way he's speaking, up until the part where he starts getting on talking about how incredible his wife was, how incredible of a mother she was. I get makings of a preacher. I get makings of that, building blocks of that, characteristics of that.
I don't really care for the applause.
Oh yes, very much.
Understand what she did and her input and what she did on this earth, man. She made sure They praying. I'm talking about at a young age. I don't even know what Nana be saying, but she praying. And you know, I sit here and tell you anybody, man, if you're going through it with anybody, man, just problem is really small, man. The problem is really small, man. You always want to have a good relationship with any and everybody. Don't matter what's going on in life, just make sure the relationship is good. You dig what I'm saying? And if for those who know me, they know I got a great spirit. I be smiling and I give. So when I really be saying I be taking energy from people, I be dead serious. If you happy, I'm over there soaking up the energy. And if you bad, I'm going this way. But that's just how I am, because I know as a human being, I won't be able to deal with none of y'all. As a human being. But since I know God got me, I'm willing to put up with you.
Come on now.
Or for anybody that's going through something, I'm here to tell you, man, look, y'all was probably feeling for us and swearing that we didn't know what he was going to do. His mind gone crazy. Listen, man, I've been dealing with trauma all my life, man. It just so happened this is new to me because I never had a rib to leave me.
Man.
But I'm here to tell you as a firm believer, man, God makes no mistakes.
Let's go. Come on now.
Don't question nothing. Don't even question what we going through.
Man.
Because we're going to go through it and get through it, because my God is going to give us the strength to get through it.
I got chills coming off of my body from hearing that, man. He said weird. He is exactly, whether you're a believer or not, you are going to go through it. You're going to go through it. Because this life is not without its stuff that happens. Like, you know, like things happen. Things happen you can't control. Things happen you cannot explain, you know? You know, if you're a believer of God, you know that you're not alone. If you're a believer in a higher being, you know that you're not alone. And I believe that's what he's saying here.
You dig what I'm saying? But most importantly, that this entire family needs is prayer. Pray for us, man. Send good energy our way. This ain't hard, but it sure ain't easy.
Very true.
You dig what I'm saying? Because it ain't. It ain't. And for those who see me, y'all know I pray a lot, because life is real. And if I didn't pray a lot, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. But I'm sitting here strong, and you know, chin up, chest out there. I'm straight. My kids, we good. Because like I said, we led by the Spirit and not by the flesh. Are we hurt? Yes. We're human. We got emotions. My children know God is real. Ain't that right, baby? Don't you know that? Don't you know we God fear? Ain't mama with us? And we gonna keep going. Know that. And I want everybody in here, if you don't take nothing from today, man.
That really touched my soul right there when he asked I believe that's the oldest daughter, his oldest daughter. He's like, Mama, God is real, ain't he? Mama with us, ain't she? That was like, that really sent some chills up my spine, man. Man, God is working in that man. God is working in his family. God is working in his children. Whatever God has next for DC Young Fly is only going to propel him into like just higher heights, you know, greater greats. You know, all things work together. You know, isn't that I believe that's I'm not a Bible scripture quoter or anything like that, but all things work together, man, for the greater good. I already know that to be so with him.